Waiting on the final readies, both teams toying with it a bit. Soup has set his team to ready. There's the good luck, have fun. See if Carpe follows suit, and we'll be underway.
5.
Here we are.
3, 2, 1.
Underway with the final match of the night, half number 1 of Tool versus the Carpe Teabaggers. See who ends up in middle first. Mateo using an alternate metagun of some sort, it would appear, by that uber rate he's got. Going to 50% already with just 25 seconds in. Nobody really getting a firm hand on the center. Both teams in force in the middle, dancing around, fighting each other. Trying to eliminate the threat before they stand on that nice, easy-to-shoot platform. Teabaggers perhaps a little bit more aggressive on the point itself. They've got both their soldiers up top, firing through the windows and holding it down. That's going to provide cover, but we see Tool getting on the point as well with their scout. Good pick by Soup Nazi, taking out the Lonely Tentacle. He goes after the other one now. Almost got both. Oh, and he gets Mateo. Soup Nazi taking out both medics by himself. Obviously some distraction from his team, but he gets the kill shots. Well done, but CTB nonetheless moving on to the point. But they've now given it up. They've backed off of it with an Uber coming in. Ooh, P-Hat sacrifices himself to drive that Uber back. Good move by him. And that buys the point for the Teabaggers. Carpe and Elsa, also widely known as Joel, taking the point. But Tool immediately pushing them off, let them do that pretty much. Moves in with their entire team, cap it right back, and now they're pushing forward in strength.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
Tool moving quickly to the next point. Looks like Uber, the soldier, probably had jumped in there, or perhaps it was Jetta there, playing scout. He's also an excellent engineer, playing with aggressive mini-sentries and such. The plane scout, he was in the backfield. Carpe fragged by a Pilgrims. Zuki there putting down the hurt. She pulls back, tosses a sandwich to her medic and gets some heals. Zuki and Mateo, the husband and wife combo, going for some brutal kills. See an Uber up there. Zorvius Ubering Uber. Uber wearing a hat I remember fondly. I'm the one that gave it to him. That was a nice one, the Dr. Seuss hat with the TF2 logo. Very distinctive.
Alert. The control point is being
Tool is back on that next point again. Yet we see Jetta dancing around as a scout in the backfield. Much like Katatsu did in a previous round, Jetta playing that scout, getting in behind, harassing them, running around, making as good as escape, drawing valuable resources off to hunt him down while the rest of his team pushes from the front. See Biggern at 85% Uber there with his heavy combo, anti-French. Soup taking out Zuki, point blank. Also knocking Sparky. Soup, as we remember from last year, also a fantastic scout. It'd be remarkable to watch these things in play sometimes. And there's a big capture of the point 4 by Tool. Tool with a man advantage as well. If they could bring their people to bear, they might be able to do a little bit of a push here while the Teabaggers are off balance. There's a combo dropping in on top. That's an Uber combo in the final. Air blasting, keeping it off the point fully. So some good air blasting there by P-Hats. P does go down in the process, but he kept the point clear enough that the rest of the team was able to hold it. Here's a second Uber, however, that's on Jesus Faction with the stickies. They run through and they decide to bug out, protect the medic, because they didn't have any other supports left. So, the dangerous situation there for the Teabaggers. Teabaggers, however, able to handle it. Tool backing off to plan another one.
Our control point is being captured.
So quickly, I didn't even catch it. Boom! Big capture on the end. Soup and Tool, Uber, and Jesus Faction. All getting in there. First capture goes to Tool. About 6 minutes in. Second half starting here. Let's follow the rollout here from the Teabaggers. Scouts all arriving at the center about at the same time, as one would expect. CTB moving in with those jumpers up on the lid again. Teabaggers in force on the point. Tool lost 4 people trying to do that initial pushback. That's not going to help them out because Teabaggers have all 9. They're going to continue pushing forward. They have an Uber at 70-some%. Lose their first person. Bigger and over on Tool is coming up to 100% in a moment. That will be their counter option. Oh, he pops it, but he loses the patient. Patient loses him. Goes down just before he can be Ubered. Finds an alternate with a soldier. And Big Hulk's sentry gun is able to take PS down. But damage done. Carpe's Teabaggers are Zuki and Mateo with the heavy Uber going to the next point. A little bit of action still happening on the middle point. Look at that push.
The control point is being contested.
2 of them by themselves just took down about half of the other team that are taking the point. Keeping that minigun firing because of the recent nerf. Want to make sure the damage fall off doesn't affect them if they're about to get hit. 1 mini sentry behind them. Inconvenient location, but nicely done by the Teabaggers. They want to turn this around as quickly as possible, make the point that what just happened to them will not happen again. They are on the final point with an Uber. That entire team's in here. This is going to turn around quickly. The Stickies save it once. Let's see if they're able to save it again. Tool holding on by their fingernails now. And each time another person spawns, comes on in. Not quite able to clear it. Jesus doing an excellent job defending the base. 1, 2, 3 defenses in a row we see right there as he wipes out wave after wave of attackers. Nice job, Jesus Faction.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Tool now moving back to try and get that second point, but they run into Zuki and Mateo again.
Doc, come on, man! Can't hit what he can.
See Andy French flanking around one side, however, main combo going the high route here. Going to see if they can perhaps take that window again. They nearly got it with the window route last time. They have a little less support this time. So Uber ready. Mateo pops the Uber. They drop in again onto the final with that Uber. Let's see if they have the support to make another attempt here at the final point. Stickies all over the point. Uber advantage, however, goes to Tool. They time that well. They defend readily with it. You see some people holding back there. The 2 medics holding back. Scout on the final point by himself. That only takes about 2 seconds. He goes down. There's another scout on the point. Oh, a lot of this last second, one at a time, coming out there, managing to wipe people out. Tool holds on again. Another Uber coming in from the Teabaggers. They just have a seemingly endless supply of these things coming in. As Mateo and Zuki repeatedly working in a very coordinated fashion. You see them on the point. Managed to get knocked off again. Tool fighting hard. They can't get out of this room because they're getting hit so repeatedly while they're in it. That little sentry gun doing some good work. It's getting on a little bit of a decline there. Very hard to hit or to get the stickies to land on it. They just fall right down the ramp. But we see an Uber coming in on a soldier. That might be able to knock it out. That's Mateo with the Reaper. That gun is just lasting and lasting. Finally it goes down. Point is exposed. One or two people dancing around. Two scouts versus each other. There's a capture of CTB. Mateo with the capture. Making it even. Equalizer with 9 minutes and 2 seconds to go. And we're going to see the big battle of who can get the go-ahead goal. Follow Tool on the breakout this time. Follow Jesus Faction as he demo jumps his way. Part way. Not going to do too many of those jumps as it appears. He doesn't want to burn all his health before he gets to the front and hits combat. Scouts are there ahead. He goes to the roof. Lands up topside, lays down some stickies on the balcony. Tool with the player advantage in the center on this time around. Elsa making an effort there. Gets taken down with those nerf stickies, not quite doing enough damage to clear the point. And Tool already has somebody, probably a scout, on the next point. Yes, indeed, that was Soup Nazi. Scouting to the back. He gets taken out by Larry, counter-scouting. See an Uber coming in there, on Uber with Zorvius. We see Carpe's Teabaggers pushing back towards center. They've got a big advantage. It's all of them against one defender. Here come a couple others. A little mini sentry going up, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It gets taken down pretty quickly by Sparky's rockets. Big pressure from the Teabaggers on the middle. They have taken it.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
Ooh, timely Uber by Mateo on Elsa there against Andy French and Big Earn. Big Earn trying to save that Uber. He's got 86. He manages to get out of there and save it. He's in a bit of trouble. He goes down with 90-some Uber. Look at that big push. Teabaggers taking the next point. Still almost 6 minutes remaining. In force there, pushing along. One scout behind him.
Our control point is being captured.
They're going to try and roll right through the final before that scout matters. Scout is going to be on that point, trying to back cap it. That's Jetta. Best defense, good offense, as they say. Teabaggers pushing that upper entry. They like that one. That's worked for them so far. Trying to press out there while Tool working on a big defense downstairs. The defense that, by the way, can quickly turn into an offensive push if they see an opening. But here comes an Uber over the top. That's Joel on the demo. And there's a second Uber. They're double Ubering in. Tool loses one of its medics with 86%. The other one's at 90 and counting. He goes down. Both Ubers are dropped or are lost just before they're ready. That hurts Tool badly. They're down to 3 players, down to 2 players. However, they also lost almost everybody on the Teabaggers. So in fact, those 2 players include Soup Nazi, who's going to retake point number 2 for Tool. Save the team the trouble on final, and he's going to keep going. Oh, he gets taken down again by Larry as the Teabaggers come to reassert control of their full point. The Tool 2, they take it. They move the fight back towards the final. 4 minutes remaining. A quick reminder, since we have different people watching now perhaps than we did earlier, in the event this half ends with a tie on cap outs at 1-1 as it currently stands, the team that is in possession of the central cap point will be determined to be the winner of this half for match point purposes. In the event, that only comes into play, by the way, in the event of a tie on cap outs. Uber out here. Andy French being Ubered with his heavy. Trying to push the Teabaggers back a little bit. Looks like Teabaggers are still in control of that outer area. They're trying to final push. Here comes another Uber in here. That's Mateo and Zuki once more. Oh, there's some cap action going on outside with 3 minutes remaining. They're on. Oh! They are on the final, but they lose the number 4 point. They have total control of the last room, but they lost the number 4 point. They're going to try and stay there long enough. There are going to be some respawns here. This is going to be dangerous unless somebody comes out of spawn right now. Mateo and Zuki are going to have it. Here comes the people to stop them. Ooh, that Pyro is the best hope they've got. He can air blast them off. Oh, look at this. This is close. And the number 4 again. Number 4 again. Jeddah and Jesus Faction save the capture by the tiniest margin along with those coming out. Wow, that was a close one. Half a second and they'd have had it, but they didn't, and that's the nature of the game. Tool down to only 4 players, however, as the 8 Teabaggers that are currently up take control of the number 4 again. Sentry goes down. We're seeing a push 8 against 5, perhaps. All 5 the Tool folks are in the final room. A couple of them now moving out to try and push back some of the Teabaggers on the side. Larry's on the final point as a scout. He's doing a dance. He's got company. They have 1 engineer they need to clear off. That Pyro will do it. Look at this. This is a big push here. This is a big push. Lots of chaos going on. We have an Uber Pyro in the mix. If he can air blast off that final, he'll have it. Oh, last second. Wow, Tool is holding on by their fingernails again and again. The fingernails are all they need. Oh, look at that bold move by the medic. Mateo running in there and with 1 minute 10 seconds gets the go-ahead goal. Leaps out there by himself from the window as a medic runs in and gets the final cap in between several defenders. Awesome move by Mateo. Great work. Insufficient time for another capture, so the next 50 seconds or so will be mostly for the glory. First round is going to go in favor of the Teabaggers over Tool, 2-1. So we're going to see 5 victory points going in favor of the Teabaggers, 1 victory point to Tool for the cap out that they have. Looks like they're going to really whack at each other here just to make their point, get a bit of practice in. 15 seconds remaining.
is being contested.
Heck of a match there. Carpy's Teabaggers with the win in the first half. 2-1 over Tool. Coming right back with the second half shortly.
Teams, congratulations, Teabaggers. 2-1 victory there. Everybody, we're going to take a 5-minute break. Please take this opportunity to
We see Tool readying up. Looks like Teabaggers need to change their name and do likewise, and then we will be underway.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We are underway with the second half of Tool versus Carpe Teabaggers here in the Ville Cup 2014 opening weekend. This is the final match of the night and the final half. CTB took the first half 2-1. This time Tool's going to try and even it up. Tool with the first players on the point, one of them with a stun ball from long range, but he's still capping, which is a useful thing, about the only useful thing you can do when you're stunned. Good idea to stay on that point. Ooh, Uber dancing around as long as possible, but he does get taken down by a long range shot coming in from the Reaper, backed up by Zuki. Zuki and Mateo now moving in as a combo on the point. We see an Uber going through there. CTB keeping Tool from getting the point. Oh, we see a parachute deployment, first one of those I've seen in a bit. That was Sparky coming in on the center. He and the Reaper on the point, both soldiers for CTB. Ooh, nice crit shot there from Eric. Eric, also known as Chouch. Four of them, they get flanked by a scout, but the four of them ought to be able to take care of a scout, and they do. CTB takes the center point. 18:28 remaining.
Alert. The control point is being
Quickly moving
captured.
forward, somebody touching on the next point. Doesn't last very long. That would have been Zuki who was touching the point. She got gunned down. Looks like Tool is bringing up a big wave of people. Get into that warehouse, have the next sprint.
Alert. Our control
Ooh,
point
we
is
see
being
Tool getting back into the center, dancing around a little bit. I think that was a scout running across the point. Gets the attention of the whole team, though. You see CTB bunches up in center, make sure nobody's threatening their backfield. Meanwhile, a Crits is coming in. That's going to be Jesus Faction with Wasp. Battles at both of the doors. Here we see Zuki, Mateo, and Elsa coming around the side, knocking out the sentry gun that Big Hulk was putting up on top. Wasp, a long-time villain, as is his first Ville Cup.
alert. Our control point is being captured.
Nice kill on the sentry gun there by Sparky and Tentacle. Larry and Sparky threatening the point, however they do get knocked out by a Tool moving back in. See a couple of folks overhead there. Chafe shelling in with his
The control
detonator.
point is being contested.
Reaper times out of the game. CTB is down a man presently. The Tool is obviously up. They're going to try and take advantage of that if they saw a bigger and does have an Uber ready. They can really push this if they want to. They deploy that Uber. Bigger and Uber on center point. Jet is going to stand on it. I think they saw that. CTB pulling back there with 4 people up, 4 down, and 1 missing. Meanwhile, Soup and company take the center. There they go. Tool taking advantage of the power play. They have control of the middle there, moving rapidly to get the next point as well. Reaper is rejoining in the game. Soup Nazi dancing around on 4 for a moment before pulling back. This is definitely where the fight is now at the moment. They have used that man advantage to really push the advantage and get forward. Reaper in the game, however, he's not yet fully on the team. Nice mini sentry coming up there. Oh, Chafe now dropping off CTB. Chafe down by 2, but Reaper gets connected in. So it's back to 8 again. This could be devastating for the Teabaggers if they start having connection problems and losing people. We see Soup getting ready, Tool getting ready to push in. Chafe back in the game. Push is coming in on final. Scout is in the knockback there.
Control point is being captured.
He's on Uber on the final point. Jesus Faction with Bigger and coming in there. Now he's got Jenny. Oh, look at that. There's a wrangled sentry on the upper level. It's the first time we've seen that. That's a devastating move, and that's going to do it. Tool gets the first point. Using the power play, even though just now they come back to full strength. A well-placed sentry up there. Well-placed sentry indeed by Big Culk. "15 minutes remain in the second half. Tool has the lead 1-0. And here come Carpe's Teabaggers. Demo a couple scouts bursting out the side there. Meanwhile, the heavier classes arriving first on behalf of Tool. Oh, nice point blank kill there up on top. Eric, I believe that was, knocking out the Reaper and finishing off Sparky. Sparky accidentally fragging himself in the point blank combat with explosives. Jesus Faction knocks out Sea Greens with the pill, and it looks like Tool is going to take the middle again. See the rest of the Teabagger medics fleeing away in the upper. Decisive move there by Tool. They are up 9-7. Moving forward, going to push through the right-hand side behind the boxcar towards 4.
Our control point is being captured.
It's an Uber coming off the side. Bigger, and again, moving in with his medic. Or with his heavy, excuse me. Zorvius on the heavy roll there. Sparring point blank with Larry on scout. Larry, a pretty darn good scout, as we've seen. He's been taking out Nazi and distracting other people left and right.
Alert! The control point is being captured.
And CTB back on the center point. They've got Mateo and Zuki in there. Oh, that's the Lonely Tentacle and Zuki, excuse me. Zuki holding her own after losing her medic. She continues to fight. Now she's got Mateo on her as well. Mateo with an Uber ready. No Ubers to be seen whatsoever on the other team. Medics are both down. This is push time for the Teabaggers. Here comes an Uber onto the final. Actually, they don't have an Uber yet. They don't need it yet. Onto the 4th point. Behind them, there's a sentry gun. They're going to need it. Knocking out the heavy combo, the SG and the Engineer. A lot of kills there. Sparky also doing his part, along with Elsa. Explosive classes. 5 points on that number 4 cap. Teabaggers pushing hard. They also have a man advantage. They're up 8-3. If they push right now, they will have a huge chance. See Carpe running in as a scout, doing that scout final attack. And he gets it. Such a fast cap in there. Nicely done by the scout, Carpe. Captain and the team in the lead. With 11 minutes and 50 seconds left, we are now going for the 3rd cap point. So far, it's been just like the previous round. Tool scoring first, Teabagger scoring second. Let's see if Tool can reverse the flow and be the 3rd score this time. That would even things up. 4 scouts in the mid, as usual. The battle for the top of this control point, as we've seen, almost as important as the battle for the control point itself in the opening breakout. Teabaggers taking control of the center in style. We've got the top and the bottom handled. The big push coming against not a lot of defense there. Medic bugging out wisely. And here comes Zuki and Mateo pushing an Uber. Knock out the sentry gun Tool had in their way. Zook tosses that sandwich out there, but can't quite get to it before getting shot down, and Jesus Faction steals it. Oh, but that doesn't stop him from getting fragged by his own grenade against Larry's face. Larry, pretty darn hurt, he pulls back, but that served a turn. Oh, there we go, Chase Seagreaves with the pyro coming up behind the combo. Working hard against Zorvius. Zorvius must be out of ammo there. Burns him down. Does a little bit of a flare jump, detonator jump. You see the teabaggers again, pushing from the left. They've got both their Ubers in the 80s versus one in the 80s over on Tool. There's going to be a lot of Uber action going on next time these teams clash, if they all happen to be in the same place. And here go two of them. One from each team. They actually are trying to get right past each other, both being used offensively, not defensively. And a good kill. Jesus Faction takes out Tentacle, drops an Uber. That's a good thing. That evened up the Uber count between the teams very effectively. See there, Chafe using his air blast, neutralizing the soldier, taking out the sentry gun, getting out of dodge. Chafe, experienced player. He's, like a couple of the others, like Carpe included, he's one of the 6 people who's been in every TF2 Ville Cup. He's also won it twice before. He won it in the original TF2 Ville Cup as a member of Team Boobs Boobs Boobs. He was part of the Her organization, then won it the second time with Shakespearcles. He played on Evil, Triple D, Half-Life 3, and this year is on the Teabaggers.
Alert. Our control point is being captured. Alert. The control point is being contested.
Blunt-Spoon and the Reaper, sorry, not Blunt-Spoon, Chafe and the Reaper, excuse me, getting in on that point, leading the charge, and Carpe's Teabaggers have taken point number 4 a second time. Well, as I was beginning to say, Blunt-Spoon, Sultan, and Wedge are the 3 players with the most wins. All of them have won 3 Ville Cups apiece. Wedge not playing this year, and Sultan not playing this year, but Blunt-Spoon most definitely playing this year. He's going to try and help his team so he can get a 4th. Plenty of people also with 2 wins would love to join those 3 guys with 3. There's a big push coming on that overhead side from Teabaggers. This is the same move that we saw Fist use so effectively earlier. Uber at the heavy combo coming right in on top. Tentacle, Ubering Zuki.
The control point is being alert. Our control point is being captured.
But Tool coming back, holding on to it pretty solidly. They had more than enough people to hold on, and it looks like they also counter-pushed a little bit. Soup Nazi out there by himself, he's going to try and capture it back. Almost does. Taken down in the last second by some explosives, but there's a mini-sentry, and that might be enough to help them out if these air blasts get worked. Wow, that was a close one. Closer than I thought it was going to be for a moment. Uber does manage to get the final cap. However, turning it around here, 1 CTB remains up, and there come the rest of them. They've got the point back themselves. Tool just got a respawn wave. They were briefly down by 5 people, but it's currently 9-on-7 and will be 9-9 in less than a second.
Alert.
Chafe dancing around in the top, entertaining himself with the sentry gun, but meanwhile Tool pushing out. They've lost a lot of members, but they're pushing out, trying to take back their number 2 point. Bigger pops the Uber, use it on Zorvius. They're getting pushed around. Zor again, I believe, out of ammo. Now he got some. He picked up a couple of fallen weapons, and Tool picks up the control point.
The control point is being captured.
Zuki there, a monster at heavies. Look at that score, nearly double what anybody else on either team has. 64 points so far for her. Tearing everybody up. And she's got Mateo again as the medic combo.
Alert! The control point is being captured. Alert! The control point is being captured.
Here comes an Uber in there. I think popping a little earlier than he wanted, perhaps, to protect himself from damage, but it could be pretty effective anyway. There are a couple of stickies down there, clearing them off with the rocket launcher. Zook's gonna... Oh, good push there by Kalk on Pyro. Gets Zuki off the point, keeps them from losing it, and Zorvius gets out there as a heavy onto the next point to push them back outside again. Oh, and he's out of ammo just at the wrong moment. He gets gunned down by Reaper's shotgun. However, the rest of the team is able to come in and finish off what Zorvius started. Takes back the number 2. Got 4 minutes and about 15 seconds left. As a reminder, since it is currently tied 1-1 with not all that long left, though certainly plenty for things to change, in the event that it is tied at the end of regulation with equal number of end caps by each team, possession of the center point determines the victor for this half. Chafe running around with that flamethrower there, ready to burn down the Tool medic Big Earn. Uber, however, takes out Carpe. CTB does not have enough people to mount a push here. Tool going to try and shove its way all the way back to center, and there they are, arriving at the middle again. That's just their scout dancing around, but it tells everybody where the action is. The rest of the team's certainly going to rush to try and get there. Eric nearly had the takedown on the heavy. However, Engineer comes and finishes the job. Big Culk with his shotgun. And Tool on the midpoint. They can take the midpoint and hold on to it. That would be a valuable capture for them. Coming up on 2.5 minutes left. Just about the amount of time we saw in one of the previous matches was required to start the game, capture center, capture 4, capture 5, and take the lead again. So it can certainly go either way from here, but time is running out. There's an Uber. Carpe's Teabaggers Ubering onto the 4-point. Zuki and Tentacle. Tentacle gets fragged. Zuki's still up, however, and Teabagger's taking that 4-point. For a moment there, it looked like Tool might be able to push around the center. However, they have been shoved all the way back to their spawn again. 2 minutes remaining.
Alert! The control point is being captured.
A little bit of action on final there as Chafe jumps in, tries to run on as a pilot. Oh, Crit's Heavy coming in on the balcony. Crit's Heavy. Oh, but it's against an Uber Heavy in return. Uber trumps crits every day. So that's going to go in favor of the defender for the moment. However, Heavy's still topside, had enough cover not to go down. Oh, and now there's a crits as well. Zorvius the beneficiary of both medics for a moment.
Our control point is being captured. Time has been alert.
Tool
The control point is being contested.
taken back. Number 2. Mateo, killing spree 5. Teabaggers not going to give up that easily. They take it back. There's 38 seconds left.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
"19 seconds. I don't believe there's enough time for middle to be swapped at this point. 10 seconds remain. This is going to be a 1-1 tie with the Teabaggers in possession of the middle. And that means that the Teabaggers are going to be the winner of both halves. See Carpe's Teabaggers jumping out to 2-0 overall standing. Joining, see here, that's going to be joining Fist and GCI. Tool will drop and start at 0-2,
Carpe
along with
Teabaggers.
GTA and Esquire.
That is a victory. 1-1 with the tiebreaker. Alright, and that concludes this evening's Ville Cup festivities. Next week we're on payload. I am not going to be here, but I believe Flash. Actually, I think. But Sultan will probably run things for you. Everybody, good luck, and hopefully we'll see everybody here next week.
Alright, you heard the band. Next week we'll be back. Map will be PL Badwater. We're going to see the Fox in Socks team versus Esquire. We're going to see GCI versus the Teabaggers, and we're going to see Goat Theft Anonymous versus Tool. For tonight's standings, there's a 3-way tie between GCI, Fist, and Carpe's Teabaggers, each at 2-0 with 10 match points. I guess if we got right down to it, Fist is in the lead with 4 total points, Teabaggers 3 and GCI 1, if I'm remembering correctly how that math is done. Fourth is going to be Tool. They have 2 match points. Esquire has 1, and GTA got some catching up to do. They are 0 match points, but this is only the first week, and plenty of teams that lost the first week turned around and won the overall tournament. So, we wish you all, from the Ville Broadcasting Corporation to you, have a wonderful week. We will see you here next Saturday, June 28th, on Badwater.